The 20th of January 2025, a new brand new year. It's been too long since some of us have been on air. I've missed you so very much. Welcome again, and thanks so much for taking your time and your data to come and be with me today on Kosi FM. Today, keyboard Dr. Rolls, who's on the line. Now, Dr. Rolls, can you hear me? Dr. Rolls? Hello? Yeah, I think
yes, Kofi, sorry about that. I can hear you. And greetings to all your followers and the listeners.
Yeah, and again, maybe I'm good to like it. What happened?
I was on mute.
All right. How are you, sir, this evening? How are you doing? Are you okay?
Look, 2025 is coming very busy, but I'm definitely okay. We are blessed, and welcome to everybody for 2025.
Yeah.
Let's hope that this year is going to bring us the great rewards we're looking forward to.
Yeah, all right. So, welcome, Dr. Ross, again, and thanks so much for taking your time again, my bro, to come and talk to me and tilfontein, which has been a nuisance to us ever since last year around August up until today. But then I can get to again. Let me just talk about it, because many people said to me, Kosiman, please make this a topic, because we need to really commend and talk about this thing, because at the end of the day, it affects our lives and it's affecting our country. So please, let's talk about it. So that's why a topic today we're going to begin, and then I said, let me rope in some expert advice for in a person of Dr. Rolls, what is his expert opinion about this matter. So before that, let's just go speak to our sponsor, and then we can continue with the show just after this again. This show is brought to you by Sohwana Medical Services and Clinic. They are a private clinic situated in number 70 Tuefengesgras in Westview, Danville. They specialize on the following: primary health care, ailment diagnosis and treatment, including medication, wound care, family planning, well baby clinic, basic ultrasound, laboratory blood services, treatment of chronic illnesses, treatment and management of patients on ARVs, wellness screening, antenatal clinic, HIV services and counseling. They have a pharmacy on site, and they are doing CCMDD services as well, OHS clinic, circumcision clinic and abortion services. Their cell phone number is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Again, the address is 70 Tuefengesgras in Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. Cell phone number again is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Yeah, that is our sponsor for today. So on Medical Services and Clinic, they're coming to you the Bamo Pretoria West in Danville in Gauteng. And then if you want to come and over visit, they're only consulting at 350, which is the consultation fee for this January, because I believe they're going to be going up in a minute. February the 1st, and then you come, and then the medication one is separate, as the advert has said. And Luana, if you've got a business and you want us to advertise you on Kosi FM, please do so, and then we will be able to advertise you on Kosi FM. Can be able, Luana, your business can grow and become as big as you have envisioned it to be. So 350 consultation fella, no medical aid. So yeah, okay, yeah. So thank you so very much, gentlemen, ladies, again for joining me happy on Kosi FM, coming to you live on www.kosifm.co.za, www.holdings.co.za, and the show tonight is the Kosi Honor live show, coming to you live again from number 702 Tuefengesgras in Westview, Danville, and coming to you live, streaming live again on my Facebook page in Kosi and our YouTube page in the Kosi live show, so you can go and watch me there and talk to me. What do you think about today's topic? Today, tilfontein disaster. I will call it disaster because it's been blown out of proportion as the disaster. So it's the disaster we have held it since last year, more South Africa. And then one of the prominent figures in our South African politics and labor movement, Mr. Zwelinzima Vavi, who has been critical against government and being a fierce should I say a fierce defender, or a fierce defender of this zamas. They are not supposed to be treated like this. They're supposed to be treated with dignity and all those things. And then we're going to hear from him as well. Hear some of his recordings that he said. What is he thinking about this whole thing, zamas, and his responses, and why he's blaming government for the disaster that's happening. And up to so far, we know 78 people that have passed away away. This thing zama. 78 of them have passed away, and I'm gonna read all the figures. Pila one whole pila. Where does this crisis started from? And the last question, are we as South Africans our worst enemy when it comes to our own country? Are we our worst enemy when it comes to ourselves and the safeguarding of our country? Where when people talk, no, we cannot have this in our country. There's other people who are still pulling to the right, to the left, say no, human rights, dignity, and all the what. Whereas in those countries, people do not really. The government that then does not allow such instances to happen because the laws there are very, 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 very strict. So, are we sabotaging ourselves? Are we shooting ourselves in the foot? And talk to me. The number is 064 548 7176. Dr. Rolls, Asantulu Molani. All right. Akiti, maybe when you can give me an opinion when I hope maybe to start with, just give me when your background of what you know before you can go into the details of this mine. Or maybe let me just do this. Let me go first into give about to the background of what has been happening most tilfontein mine, and then maybe you can be able to give you your own opinion as well. And because when I want you to talk from this perspective, the patriotism of this country. Are we not patriots anymore? Are we patriots as South Africans? Or that patriotism is over, is finished? So let me just give a little background of what happened most tilfontein. This crisis started sometime last year, where it was rumored up to 20,000 people, whatever how many amount were under the ground, and they were illegal there, mining in different shafts of Tilfontein. Tilfontein is a very small town next to Klerksdorp in the northwest area, where there's a lot of gold mines that have been closed because of non-profitability, I believe, and then people coming from all over the country have come from Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and then when they come here, they go under they go underground and they do dig gold underground and they sell it in the black market and they get so much money. We have seen so many videos, Dr. Rolls, Mobo, TikTok, where you see people with large sums of money, talking about and then somebody actually confirmed who was actually from a miner, that money is actually real. Like somebody can be given up to $1 million in cash because the buyer has sold the gold to whoever selling. So the demand is there of this thing, and then now people are actually suffering. Other communities that are living around looking those people because. Not so long ago, there was a report there was a gang rape of a young woman because of this so-called zamas. So background of what happened in Stilfontein. Let me just go and then get it here. But up to only 26 of the 2,000 that have already come out of that hole. South Africans, so bear that in mind. 26 of those people who come, 2,000 came out already, but the 26 of them are South Africans only. They are not foreigners. And then only 26 South Africans were amongst the 2,000 zamas who resurfaced alive from Stilfontein illegal mining operations. SAPS spokesperson Brigadier Atenda Mate said the operation at the Buffelsfontein, shaft 11 that started on Monday led to a retrieval of up to 246 people and 78 bodies. So out of those 22, get the latest one that came out. How do they break it down on those people that are 246 that came out and 78 bodies? 128 of those people was Mozambican, Lesotho was 80, Zimbabweans was 33, and South Africans only 5. So between August 18, 2024 and Wednesday, 1,905 zamas has resurfaced. From last August to today, 1,905 zamas have resurfaced at the Market shaft. So it's not only one shaft, guys. These people are busy operating in. In Market shaft, also in Stilfontein, 1,437 miners, illegal miners. So I'm just going to do this for the sake of knowing the numbers. I'm going to put all these numbers down and I'm going to calculate them up. How many people are we talking about here? So let's see. The first number was 1905. The second number is 14. 1437, and then from the majority of them, from the Buffelsfontein shaft 11, 365 miners have resurfaced, and go 365, and then we have 10,000. 103 that came out from the shaft 10 at the same Buffelsfontein, and then majority of them were 1,125 Zimbabweans, Mozambicans, and renale kana re bua ka 10,000 e go tingitswile ka mo Buffelsfontein. So 125 of them were Mozambicans, followed by Zimbabweans who are 465, with 200 being from Lesotho and only 26 South Africans, and there was only one Malawian and one Congolese again. So up to so far, out of everybody else, people who died is 87. So let's just calculate quickly, Dr. Rolls. How much, because we don't actually know the number of how many people were in that mine, are still under their underground. So let's go to 1905 plus 1437 plus 365 plus 10, 103, 11,000. Let me check. Let me just double check. 11,000 that I've seen here. 11365 actually. So let's go back there and say 11365. So up to so far, Dr. Rolls and everybody else at home, we are looking at 25,175 people. Yeah. Take a minute, Dr. Rolls, and tell me, what do you think? I mean, 26,175 individuals underground illegally. What's your take?
That is a huge number. That is a huge number, and it is evident to us that we have lost control.
Yeah.
We cannot be living in a country that is saying we are a law-abiding country. And we can give, and this is one mine. Of course, in my new one is Arsobu Katlex Arsobu Katela Tato Jobeg, Arsobu Katela Tedi. That's a very strange situation.
Yeah.
We're only talking Taiwan.
Yeah, and only 2 shafts, by the way, that has been said here. Shaft.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2 or 3 shafts that have been spoken about.
Exactly. And now we need to realize how deep this thing is. And if we are going to be sitting and lying to ourselves and still say we have control, we are lying. We do not have control. The situation has spiraled out of control.
Yes.
Government has lost grip of this situation. So on our own, they are just blabbing for political fame. Bombalula and them going to make talks and speeches that are taking us nowhere.
Yeah.
The truth be told, we have lost control.
Yeah.
We have lost control. And we've lost control of a resource in this country that government has abandoned and not taken care of. You know, Hosha wants to take us back to 15 years back when the Chinese came to make a proposal.
Yes.
But these mines that they have left abandoned this way are going to be our next problem. We're putting proposals where can we re-establish these mines and re-mine whatever is still left and then properly shut them down and close them.
Yes. And who refused to do that, Dr. Rolls?
It was the BEE issue.
Oh, that you need to put some black people in that thing before.
Why not thing?
Yes.
And unfortunately, the Chinese did not have a problem. But the problem is how they wanted to facilitate the BEE issues.
Yes.
Because Mabata, the big wigs in politics must be the ones who are gaining these things.
Instead
of the Chinese were making.
Yeah, instead of the ordinary.
Exactly. The Chinese were proposing the communities, the mining communities, are supposed to be beneficiaries of this. So that Bonaba established small mining communities to become small miners because this is a product the Chinese were willing to buy. So Nabato took these communities that are left in these abandoned mining towns to say, can you continue gaining something from this?
Yes.
Mar Rabalimatab. You know, this is the sad reality. Yabo, these so-called mining conglomerates and that are running the mining regulatory council.
Yeah.
Because Kibona, the politicians who are stopping and blocking development of our people. Today we sit in this quagmire of a problem that they cannot solve because of their greed and ignorance.
Yes.
And this is the reality. This is the truth that we are facing.
Yeah. But then, Dr. Rose, the horse has already bolted, so to speak, actually. The horse has already bolted. Now, what do we do about that? Because now blaming, saying, yeah, it's because of this, because of that. Now there's a crisis that we have in our hands. That crisis, there's people who come from all over. Imagine 25 or 26,000 people underground as we speak. Only a few have come out. Only 2,000 have come out from that 20-something thousand. These people came with a mission. So what must be done here? When now everything is here, there's a problem at the moment. What must be done?
You know, there's a solution that sits in front of our faces that we can utilize. The problem is right now, yes, like you say, the horse has already bolted. We have lost control of these mines. Now, regaining control is going to be a real serious issue.
Yes.
But however, tilfontein could be one that becomes an example of how we can resolve it. We need to ensure that whoever is still in tilfontein be removed. That mine must be totally emptied of any illegal miners.
Yes.
And then this mine should be handed over to a reputable company who will come up with a community-driven initiative that will look at how to properly decommission these mines by mining whatever is left behind in a safe and proper way, and then decommission it properly and try and gain as much out of the resources that are there, because it is obvious you will not get over 20,000 people going into a mine if there was nothing left to mine, and they are posting, as you say, and we've seen it.
Yes.
These huge amounts of money on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And if this is the black market, imagine if it was done properly in a regulated environment.
Yes.
How much more could it be?
Exactly. So,
because this is the job that we hunger for.
Yeah.
You know, mining communities are suffering. Hoshi, I don't know what let you choose. And fate calls it this way. Last year, we ran a program with the Mining Qualifications Authority for mining communities.
Yeah.
And we were training them on cell phone repairs, laptop repairs. Because you will not believe the terrible situation these people live in. These mining communities,
the mining communities, yes.
Yeah, they've been abandoned. They've been left there. Some of them are lacking basic services, basic amenities. One community we were training by don't even have electricity.
Okay.
So we had to do solar training for them to teach them how to connect solar, use solar and stuff like that, and empower young people to become entrepreneurs and start up their own solar initiatives so that they could light up that community. So you ask yourself, what have these mines actually done? They've left these mining communities in disarray.
Yes.
Who holds them accountable?
Yeah.
They should fund these initiatives. These miners, the solution is there. These mining conglomerates should fund initiatives to decommission these mines while rebuilding these communities around them as beneficiaries of those decommissioning exercises. So whatever is still left that is mineable must be mineable for the benefit of this community. Whatever money is found is made out of these initiatives should then be there to rebuild these communities.
Yeah. But do you think this will ever happen, Dr. Rolls? Because I mean, looking at how many, we know most of our mines are not even open and owned by our own government. They are owned by international conglomerates, international companies that are out there just to make a profit. They don't. That's why they abandon this place. I mean, look at Marikana, for example. Our own president is or was a director of a lone mean miner that has been exploiting that area for years. Miners were short, illegal miners were short there because they wanted a living wage. And he went there and promised that there will be houses built. Nothing was done. I mean, where do we run to, sir? Where do we run to, like, the way this? I mean, who should hold who accountable if the very same government officials, some of them have got shares in those mines?
This is a very good question, Portion. But I think let us start off by the most important one.
Yeah.
Do we really own mines? Do people or individuals really own mine?
No. No.
Who owns the mine?
The international companies.
Who owns?
International companies.
Not actually.
That not even
No.
here.
No, Coach.
Yes.
You see, this is what the government makes us to believe.
Okay.
International companies do not own the mines; they own the mining rights.
Oh, okay. So
when you apply for mining rights. So you are then given a mining license.
Yes.
To mine that particular area where whatever minerals have been discovered. So you own rights to mine there for as long as whatever those rights are, and you are given a license for whatever period that is.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we inherited mining rights that were 100 years, 99 years, that were renewed before Mandela resumed office in 1994,
okay,
as part of their agreement and their deals.
Yes.
So many of these were renewed, especially in the coal sector, gold, diamond sector, whatever. They were renewed. Now this is where we are sitting with the problem.
All right.
So those lands where these mines were owned by our government.
Yes.
So the communities where these mines were mining activities were happening. So when we say we have no control, it is a lie that the government keeps talking. When a mine is no longer functioning, that means those people are not renewing their mining rights. That means there is nobody who holds the rights to mine.
Yes.
There should be conditions that are put there that if a mine is left abandoned for a period, the government should then take over and start coming up with a different plan and look for proposals to reestablish or whatever that the one can do when a mine is left abandoned in such a state.
Yeah.
So there are many initiatives that can be introduced. The problem is the willpower.
Yeah, the political.
I doubt that our government has the willpower.
Or not the political will anymore, because I get how about no, we need political will to do this thing.
And of course, you know what I like most. We've got a political party that was very vocal.
Yeah. About
nationalization of mines.
Okay, which one is that?
But the EFF. But where are they now to come up with proposals and programs on nationalizing these mines that are being neglected?
Yeah.
So that we take over and take control and then convert them into community mines and establish programs which will then remine these mines or decommission them properly by extracting whatever leftover mineral to empower those communities. This is what they should be proposing.
Yeah, but then they are there now defending the miners in there. What's happening? They are defending those miners, and they are saying human rights, blah 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 blah. So let's jump onto this one, Dr. Rolls. Are you calling what's happening on tilfontein a crisis, or is it a national crisis, or what? How can you put it in your own words?
It is twofold for me, Koshi. It is both a national crisis and a national security risk. Why?
A national crisis and what?
It's a national crisis in terms of the fact that it is now uncontrollable.
Yes.
By whatever means that we have. Yes. And we are being attacked on different angles, no matter how you do it.
Yes.
I will go deeper later on my stance on the position when it comes to the police and the position that they took, and I'm fully in support of it.
Okay.
But why do I say national crisis? Is because we have lost control.
Yeah.
And when a country has lost control of something, that means you are in a crisis. Okay. You now need to either look at changing the approach and coming up with a martialistic law approach to regain control of this situation. Right. So it is a national crisis, and we need to look at how do we then put in a martialistic law to control it. Yeah. But it must be only reserved for this mining crisis. We attempted to do it last year when the military was brought on board to actually assist. But it was a temporary. Now we need to look at a full-on onslaught in order to gain control of these mines. That is why it's a national crisis.
Yeah, onslaught in what exactly? Maybe if you can just break it down for us a little bit, Roberto. How onslaught?
In putting all our security clusters and forces together to come up with a program that will ensure that we eradicate this in a quick and short and most effective way, and minimal lives lost.
Yeah.
So therefore, government needs to look at involving all our security and clusters, which is your military, your police, and all those, to come together and come up with a joint program of action that will start dealing with this in a very robust way, because we are in a serious crisis.
Yes.
Communities are under threat and their lives are at risk. Who spoke about one individual that got raped. Let us forget that in Klerksdorp there was a bigger saga a few years ago where these men raped a crew of young ladies that were videoing.
Yeah, yes, I remember.
I know you remember that one. It was a sad day for us. So it tells you that these things are becoming even bolder the way they are doing it.
Yeah.
Now, that covers the national crisis. When I say it becomes a big security threat, if you look at the financial outflows coming out of the country of money we do not know where does it go to because it is cash, it is uncontrolled. We do not know where does it end and in which hand is it moving. If you look at the way they display the firearms, the AK-47 that they are using,
I've seen
that tells you already.
Yeah.
Exactly. That tells you that we are under a security threat because majority of these are undocumented people.
Yeah.
So therefore, their crimes cannot be controlled.
All right.
Because you can't have fingerprints, you can't trace them.
Yeah. We're coming to you live on www.khosifm.co.za. Coming to you live again on www.holdings.co.za, khosifm/khosifm/ and then we're coming to you again streaming live on Facebook, which my name is Khositsile Sehongwane on that Facebook, and on YouTube is the Khositsile on the live show. You can leave a comment there and you can send me a WhatsApp message now and ask me, because I'm on the line now with Dr. Rolls from I Am a Patriot to come and discuss this sensitive issue of tilfontein. Avoided this topic since last year because it's been developing every day. There's some crisis, there's something. So I've been trying to avoid it, but you know what? I just can't do it anymore. So if you want to ask any questions to Dr. Rolls and myself, the number is 064-548-7976, and then you can just send a WhatsApp code. Don't send a voice note now, maybe later on, but now you can just send a text, is fine, and 064-548-7176. Dr. Rolls, I've got a question for you. It's from Lebogang from Progressive Alliance. Dr. Rolls, do you think there's a politician involved in the tilfontein mess?
I like that question. You know, I love our partners because they are straight and patriotically. To the point that they do not disguise it.
Yes.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I bite it, and if they feel they want to take me on, they are free to do so.
All right.
Yes, not a politician. There are politicians involved. I need us to understand one thing. These are mafia cartels. And any mafia cartel has politicians involved in it, police involved in it, high-ranking government officials involved in it.
Yes.
So every cartel, that is why it's called a cartel, is that they are well connected with people, resources, and acquaintance that ensure that whatever they are doing is protected and secured.
So there are
these people have direct access. Yeah, they've got direct access to certain people that you will never have access to.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are so well organized. They can pick up a call. Look at the guy that escaped. Police are bold enough to tell us that the kingpin escaped and he was helped by police officers as he came out of the shop.
My goodness. When was that? I missed that one.
This one, I think it was just yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. A few hours ago, about 9 hours ago.
Even. So the guy
based on the news article also.
Yeah, and the police let him go because what? He promised them $1 million each?
Yeah. It's obvious. Why else would they leave it? And the reality is, these people are being paid. You know, patriotism begins here. You know, this is where our biggest problem is sitting.
Yeah. So
it's 7 hours ago.
So you believe
7 hours ago.
Politicians are involved in this thing?
Police and police.
And police as well.
Politicians, police, and high-ranking government officials, not only politicians, but high-ranking government officials are also involved. You know, the information these people carry, my brother, you'll be shocked.
Yes.
They will know about a raid before it happens.
Before it happened, yes, we know about that one. Yeah. You are familiar with that one, Denver here in World 60. We know her whenever we go somewhere, I already know you are coming, so yeah.
Yeah, so these guys are connected, and we cannot dispel it. So my answer is yes, politicians, police, high-ranking government officials are fully involved here, and they are all part of the syndicate. They are getting a good chunk of money, and that's why it's been such a battle to arrest the kingpins, and that's why this guy was allowed to go, because these guys threatened that if I go down, I go down with all of you.
Yeah.
So obviously they will let him go. But don't be surprised, Koshi. Mark today and mark my words. His body will be found somewhere.
Yeah, obviously. Like he's a loose end now. He's now a loose end, so he need to go. Yeah. Number 064.
And he's out there, and now people know about him.
Yeah.
So he's a goner.
Yeah. 064-548-176. Let those WhatsApps come through. I've got another question from Kamajola that Dr. Rolls are evening, Kosi and the doctor. How does the gold move from the mines to the world? I'm very curious, and no one ever catches them. And how do we get to report from how do we get the report from UN that South Africa is losing 1.1 trillion on illegal mining, and South African government know nothing about? I get a very Gwede Mantashe said something about us losing that much, and then now the UN has issued out a paper again to say we are losing that much from illegal mining, but South African government does not know. So Kamajal wants to know from you, Hore, how does the gold move from the mines to the world, and no one is, she's very curious, so no one is ever being caught. What is your opinion about that?
You know, it's exactly what concerns us in many of these things. Government knows about this. They just don't have the political will to do anything about it.
And to stop.
Of course, we do not have patriotic politicians.
Yes.
They talk patriotism, but they are not patriotic in their action. They talk patriotism as a slogan and as a chant.
Yeah.
But when it comes to principles of patriotism, they lack in it. What's in our country? This is and watch things fall apart, but yet we call ourselves patriotic.
Yes.
Do they even understand what patriotism means?
Yeah. So are we our
So we are our West Indian.
Yes.
We are our West Indian. I've said this even before, Coach.
Yes.
That we are our first and the worst enemy to ourselves.
I mean,
the third party, we blame these women when they are marrying the foreign nationals for money. But we do not blame these police officers who take a bribe from these foreign nationals to release them.
Yes, yeah. What can we say?
From prison.
Yeah. No,
these people are bold. They are no longer afraid. They were doing a raid of illegal foreigners working in the city.
Yeah.
A whole line of them were being pushed by these green beans.
Yes.
The guys were taking them. Sorry about that. Things are falling here.
Oh, sorry.
So these guys were taking them allegedly to have them arrested. You know, while I was standing at this one shop where I was buying materials, some of the guys that were caught, that were walking past in handcuffs, and they were holding each other's hands, and they were going as if they were being marched out to the police station.
Yes.
Came back running past there laughing. And this owner of the shop calls them and calls two of them and asks them, hey, what happened?
Yeah.
They say, hi, my place last million up. After killing my 500, you give me a bill.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Come on.
I'm serious. Just like that. Say, how much place last million up? After killing my 500, you give me a bill. I stood there in shock. And I'm like, there I was almost taking a video to comment and say, great job.
Yes.
Mapanyaza on the action.
Yeah.
Then to hear this, I lost all hope. I'm like, even the new guy that just started.
I was about to say,
they already know 500.
Yeah, I was about to say, the newbies. They do know now. There's this thing called a bribe on the streets. Oh, my goodness. Come on. So we are always.
They've learned from the best.
Yeah, because
exactly.
What's why the question about that roles are we our worst enemy? In a sense, I mean, look at what EFF is doing. EFF has got nothing good to say about us as South Africans, to be honest. But they will be all over the place by protecting any foreigner, by speaking for any foreigner. But you can hardly hear them really fighting for a South African black child. You know what I'm saying? So now we're gonna go to Vavi in a moment, because Leah is one of the people that actually are busy at the moment, being very vocal. I don't know, is he trying to remain relevant or to resuscitate himself from whatever background he's been in, or what? Because he is out there and being bold enough to tell people, no, government must be accountable, but will come to him. So the reason why I'm asking that question, are we really patriotic about this thing, is because of the thing that we see. Everybody's out there for them, but never for the community, especially who are living around these people. Because reports have come out, these people are raping girls, they are holding the community ransom. You know what, they are law amongst themselves. We hear guns every single day. I was watching this video today, about this boy, resident of tilfontein, how's their life, and I mentioned that the people who actually buy the gold from these people, then when we see those videos of these guys holding these large sums of money, that you must believe in it, because that's what really is happening. So, really, what do we need to do as Africans, as South Africans, when under the roles, to be patriotic? What needs to be done, to be patriotic? You must be patriotic as much as you can. What must be done?
To be honest, Koshi, one of our biggest challenges in becoming patriotic is fear. We need to overcome the fear.
It's fear, yeah?
Fear has been instilled in society so deep that it has become a real problem.
Yeah.
I spoke a few days ago to a group of young men, and we were discussing a very similar topic on how to actually win back our community.
Yes.
And one of my biggest presentations to them was the fight of fear begins the struggle. So we need to fight fear.
Yes.
Do you remember the days when somebody was beating somebody in the street and the community would run out to stop that fight? Remember the days when a man would be beating a woman? People would stop him and it would lead to beating him.
Yeah. I remember those.
A thief would steal and him back, and people would stop the person. These days, what do we do? Cell phone record.
I was about to say that. Nowadays.
And ask the people why. They say, we have become scared in our own communities, in our own countries, in our own spaces.
Yeah.
And this fear has resulted in people taking over and dominating.
Do you have any sympathy, Dr. Rolls, about what's happening down there in Tilfontein? These people coming out of this hole?
I know many will hate me. I'm a Gimaruti. I'm not supposed to talk this bad.
Yeah.
I've already prayed that I've got to forgive my thoughts on it.
Yes.
But my position on this one is more safer to present it this way. I am in full support of our policemen not risking their lives going underground
Yeah.
to rescue and save those who made a decision conscientiously
Yes.
to go down there to hustle.
Yes.
When they made that decision to go down and try and hustle for a living,
yes,
they knew the dangers that this imposed. But our police never joined the police force to go and rescue those who decided to take a risk on their own life.
And rescue is somebody who doesn't have it, who can't do it, right? Rescue ha na bokgoni ba go ka ikentsha kwa leng ko teng ke accident ke ngwana wetse mo tega sediba, somebody drowned, fell in the river, so the person, so they need to be rescued. They went to swim and then the waves came, they were too big. But and Ben who come from Mozambique, and in Timborang, I'm gonna give my own opinion about the because I'm a South African, I'm a patriot. Like Zwelinzima Vavi and everybody else who's really, how can I that Twitter is burning? If people are watching my stream now, you can see on my, is it on my left? On my left, yeah. I've got a screen flashing, most different tweets of people talking to Vavi, telling him stuff. And then I do have a whole a picture now playing all those tweets that people are accusing him of stuff. But we're going to come to it when we talk about him. And why then are we even calling them minors? Why are we saying they are trapped? Why are we saying they need to be rescued? Because they don't need to be rescued. I remember last year they were told, remember when Tabeling, the minister in the presidency, says we're going to smoke them out. She was saying they must come out. They refused to come out. They were writing this silly letters, the peanut butter and whatnot, mocking the state. Like I said, we are down here protected by those above, and then we'll just play this cat and mouse game. So, and why now are they being treated as victims, Dr. Rolls, instead of perpetrators that they are?
I don't understand why we have to go through this all the time. I don't know if you noticed the biggest fighters for these are NPOs.
Yeah, they are.
And you see how quick they could put together a legal team that went to fight for them in the high court. And making these expensive applications in the high court. These NPOs they do not know that they are funded by these very criminal activities. Because they are not audited, so we do not know where their sources of funds come from.
Exactly.
This case that you see being videoed by these criminals is the same case that gets cleaned through these NPOs. You know that?
Yeah.
Someone knows that, they do nothing about it.
So they will come as donations and then they come out, they go to the bank as donations and then they will be withdrawn as clean money. Or transferred as clean money.
Not even withdrawn, transferred into various different accounts as clean money. So obviously, when these people are in trouble, you're going to go and defend your funders.
Of course.
And you'll go all guns blazing.
Of course. There is this...
These are the realities we need to face. These NPOs are not patriotic to our country.
No, they are not.
They will never be. We need to start regulating them. By doing a thorough forensic on who funds them, where are they getting their money. The problem is they've been getting under the radar for too long. These NPOs and NGOs need to be audited. Government needs to take a serious stance on them. There was a time when Jacob Zuma made a very serious move towards that. But he was quickly shut down in Parliament because they knew most of them are also involved in this scam.
Of course they are. Of course. I mean, that's how they will. They will value. Yeah. There's a tweet that I saw. Moya, the DA, News 24, reported last week. The DA has written to Ramaphosa to request the Commission of Inquiry into the ongoing disaster at Buffelsfontein Gold Mine, East Tilfontein in the northwest. After 78 bodies were retrieved and 246 zamas were rescued from a shaft 11 and arrested this week. What is your take on that?
Hey, you know, Hoshi, I'm a bit disturbed in another leadership hearing.
Yeah.
I saw that one.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it. I even saw the one when Balula was also saying there were no more illegal miners underground, but then after that, a few days later, others are found.
Mm.
I don't know where does our government stand, really. Babu Afela sometimes, and they themselves need to really take a good look at themselves.
Yeah. I think, don't you think
You know,
it's more of being seen to be doing something, Dr. Rolls, instead of really doing something? Because the way Linka thing, it's like, let's just do something, let's be seen to be doing something, or people must not say we are just sitting down and doing nothing. Don't you think? Because when I say something, just, it's an kanya gore ke ANC di metse I whistle, so say something, just, for that effect. Do you think that's how it is now?
You know, my worry is when our president talks, there are two things that are going to shut him down.
Yeah.
NPOs that are going to remind us, like Mashaba said very well. If you remember, Mashaba questioned the constitutional protection for illegal miners.
Yes.
He questioned it, and he says, these people are illegally mining. How does the constitution protect that?
Yes. Yes. Because I don't think,
our president is just talking, and then he knows really. After he says this, then he will say, no, I was defeated by these people that's what he does.
Yeah.
Hoshi, I don't want us to take us too far. I know we're dealing with the tilfontein matter.
Yes.
But I just want to show you the weakness of the president we need.
Yes, please.
He gave a deadline for the registration of cargo shops. He gave them 21 days. Before the 21-day deadline hits, or the day of the 21-day deadline, he says after numerous calls for me to extend this, I then decided to extend it.
For another
numerous calls from who?
From who? Yes.
Why do you not tell us who are these people that called you? Because it's only these foreigners.
And
it was the Ethiopian Association, the Somalian Association, the Bangladeshi Association, the Pakistani Association. Those are the people that called you. Are those South Africans?
Yeah.
Do they represent the interests of this country?
Yeah.
Show me a group of South African spaza shop owners that went to him and asked him for an extension.
Yeah.
Because our South African guys did not need an extension, because if you look at it, they want to apply. It doesn't cost them a headache, because they meet the requirements. They have an ID. They have all the requirements that they need. They have their address and everything.
Yes. And the question, Corey, did he ever come out and ask us and say, listen, guys, because I'm not my own president, I'm president of other people. Let me go and ask the people who actually voted me in, or do they allow me to extend this thing for another 6 months or whatever months? Yes.
Who did he get the mandate from?
Yeah. Yeah. The number is
because he is deployed.
He's deployed, yes, and his party is voted by the people. So I think whatever decision you make, you must run it first by us and say, listen, guys, because you're the ones who send me to this thing, what do you say about it? Do we do it or we don't do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. 064-548-776. We're still talking to Dr. Rolls. We're talking about Stilfontein disaster. Zwelinzima Vavi defending the miners. We're going to come to him now in a minute. And the question is, are we our own worst enemies as South Africans? And Dr. Rolls said that, yes, we are. Lina, I do agree with him. And what do you think? Well, tell me. 064-548-776. We are coming to you live on www.cosifm.co.za, www.someoneholdings.co.za. And today's show, okay, the Kosits Iles on live show, the Monday one-on-one political show that we have each and every Monday. A big week politicians, and Dr. Roseneki means as he is from I Am a Patriot. Is an organization that really pushes patriotism among South Africans to hear his views about what is happening in Stilfontein. Loena, you can give me your views on 064-548-7176. On what do you think? Do you think this is a crisis? What do you think should be done to the miners that are not even miners? minors, man. Like it's not always any minors because they're not minors unless Barry, but they were fired and they came back to work and then yeah. And I saw some other article, Dr. Rolls, one miner was saying he saw people starving to death around him and dying. And my question is, who sent you and them down there? Why must we have sympathy for you at the moment, and then we shout in the name of human rights and our constitution and the dignity and everything else? Like your question earlier, which constitutional clause says protect illegal mining and illegal foreigners who come to this country legally and then they do an illegal thing? Which one does that? So my question, who sent them down there? Do we need to have that sympathy for them? Like when you said, for yourself, no, we don't have to. So that question, but then now I'll ask somebody, who sent you down there? Who sent you down there? No one said you must go inside that hole and dig a hole and do whatever and do all those things. Yeah. So coming now to that is Zwelinzima Vavi, when Dr. Rolls, what do you think of? Before that, the DA thing. What do you think this is? The DA must now, and good by the way, it's now saying the president must establish a commission of inquiry into this thing. Why do you think that is?
These commissions of inquiry are another way of politicians just eating our money. Yeah. Because they claim for all these others they are sitting and listening. And this. If you look at it, what was the benefits of the commission of inquiry by Zondo?
Yes. Nothing.
And we reached the benefits of 1 billion that was paid towards the entire commission.
Mm-hmm.
There's a commission of inquiry on the mining saga that involved the Ramaphosa.
Mm-hmm.
Millions were paid. What were the outputs?
I think that one actually did something good, but it was debunked by the courts. Remember, the Kida Commission that actually said he was at the wrong, but then every NGO came out guns blazing to protect the man. We know that. Yeah, they were not questioning the integrity of Judge Falam himself and blah blah. It's the whole story.
Yes, but this is exactly what I'm saying. As long as he's in power, any commission of inquiry established by him is useless.
Yeah. But then why do you think the DA? What do you think the DA and the good are now saying it must be done? Or is it political?
They form part of this.
Yeah.
No, sorry to jump in there. Yes. Carry on, sorry.
No. Like I was saying, do you think they are politicking or just, like I said earlier, being seen to be doing something?
Cameron said something very, very good. But then after that, they became politicky by asking for a commission of inquiry.
Yeah.
Cameron said something when he spoke now the other day. He said, the fight against illegal mining will be futile without an anti-extortion plan. This is what Ian Cameron said, yes. Which is a very good thing, and I like what you said.
Yes.
He said, the only way we can fight it is that we must have an anti-extortion plan put in place, because the people running this thing are extortionists.
Yeah.
And this is a positive approach. But now when you say you want to establish a commission of inquiry, the commission of inquiry will take how many years? 2 years. Billions will be spent. The outcome, who will actually deal with the outcome? Because by the time they get to say who was involved and what, there'll be so much protection around those people, because it all ends up touching the big guns in parliament.
Yeah. Do you think
now, are we going to waste our time? Hey, I wouldn't know. Chief, names I did not call. Question, please. I did not know who. I ran in general.
I cannot allegedly.
Eba needs recording somehow.
Yes.
I must not be caught calling someone's name, because the judges will definitely find me 500,000 I do not have.
Yeah. Now, I couldn't allegedly. Do you think allegedly is involved?
I wouldn't say anything about anybody's names, but I will put it this way.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way. Many politicians
Yes.
are involved.
They are.
And those who wish to protect themselves will come and sue me, so then I'll ask them to prove they are not involved.
Exactly.
So by that way, we'll be able to find out who is.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, the number is 064-548-776. Coming to you live on www.khosifm.co.za. Coming to you live again on www.sehonholdings.co.za. And then live streaming on 2 platforms as we speak. The Khositsile Sehon live show, that's our YouTube page name. Go there, you'll see me in the studio. I'm alone today. Dr. Ross is on the line. And then you go to Facebook, you're Niki Khositsile Sehongwane. And then you can be able to comment there and ask any questions you want to ask, or any comment you want to put down there and tell us what do you think about today's show, as you're speaking about the tilfontein crisis that is happening at the moment, where almost 2,000 people have resurfaced ever since last year, August. But then already it's 26,000 people down under the ground, but then only 2,000 have come up and 78 bodies have been recovered up to so far, which was yesterday. So how about any opinion, please let us know on 064-548-776. But we're going to go to a little break, Dr. Ross, for just 2 minutes, and then we'll be back right after this nay. This show is brought to you by Sohwana Medical Services and Clinic. They are private clinic situated in number 70 Tweefengersgrass in Westview, Danville. They specialize on the following: primary health care, ailment diagnosis and treatment, including medication, wound care, family planning, well baby clinic, basic ultrasound, laboratory blood services, treatment of chronic illnesses, treatment and management of patients on ARVs, wellness screening, antenatal clinic, HIV services and counseling. They have a pharmacy on site and they are doing CCMDD services as well, OHS clinic, circumcision clinic and abortion services. Their cell phone number is 064-548-7176 or 071-422-8576. Again, the address is 70 Tweefengersgrass in Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. Cell phone number again is 064-548-7176 or 071-422-8576. Yeah, that's our sponsor for today, Sohwana Medical Services and Clinic. But charge only 350 consultation cash. They don't take any medical aid up to so far. They only charge cash, and their medicine is separate from the consultation. So how you go to a clinic or surgery, but 750 including medicine, allergics. From there, all that money goes away. That is not smart spending. But if you go to medical services, you go there and you'll have a choice if you're going to take medicine or not. It's up to you. And even if you don't need medicine, the doctor will be very, very, very honest. Listen, you don't need medicine for this thing. It's okay. You go home. You've already paid only $350. So no medical aid is taken by these people. So please go there, cash or swipe, or you can transfer, you can swipe, you can pay cash. It's up to it. Marana Rolls, Zwelinzima Vavi. Before, let's just go first to the WhatsApp spilling before the catch on the pili. Rebuale Oslebhan Kape ko progressive forces. And we also need moral values. We need healthy family structures. We actually need God. And then Usbonang and Abe. Yes, politicians are involved. There is no way our looters will look away when billions are taken away and they don't get a share. Abari, what is happening now is the faction fighting and exposing each other. What do you say about that before I go to the Zwelinzima Vavi?
I know, I fully agree with her.
Yeah.
The politicians making a noise now, it's all about factionalism and pushing their own agenda. Remember, local government elections are coming close, so they want to start having a voice and making a noise. These days, politicians, what they say, you must listen to it with a pinch of salt. Because
it's dog.
Hoshi.
Yeah.
Hoshi, I just want to share something with our listeners.
Yes.
There's this organization called the MAKUA, which is Mining Affected Communities United in Action.
Okay.
I want you to listen to the name. Mining Affected Communities.
Yes.
United in Action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
These are the very people who are saying that the illegal miners' rights, human rights, have been violated because they were not rescued from the disused tilfontein mine. Okay. Now, I want us to go back to the name.
Yes.
Mining affected communities united in action.
So they're the ones who are they're speaking for the legal miners.
But these are mining community affected miners. These are the mining affected community people.
Yes.
You say you are affected by these mines that have been shut down and so forth.
Yeah.
Now the illegal miners, you are fighting for their human rights. Does it make sense to us as South Africans? It's very so. Yes,
I think I love it.
Now you have to ask yourself, who are people?
Yes. Are they not an NPO as well? That are just being funded by somebody?
NPO.
Yes.
Who are an NPO? Funded by who? Who are they fighting for? They are fighting for illegal miners because they are saying their human rights are violated. Yes. So that means it's the very same people that are benefiting from this.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
We're in trouble. We're really in trouble with the NGOs and NPOs. Yeah. That are unregulated, unmonitored, and unaudited.
And there are a lot, eh? Jesus Christ. Like there are a lot of these NPOs around. I don't know. It's like political analysts. It's like it's a new thing nowadays. You just open an NPO to you become a political analyst overnight. Yeah.
Maybe you not
Exactly. I've got a tweet. I've got a WhatsApp now from Mama Kamajola. South Africans must open up your eyes. 1,125 are Mozambicans, 466 are Zimbabweans, 200 people are from Lesotho, 1 Congolese, 1 Malawi, and only 26 are South Africans. So all the judges, NPOs, Vavi, are for fighting for foreigners, and South Africans are struggling in their own country. Having a right to life and dignity does not give a criminal permission to go around and committing crimes. As we as South Africans need to punish our politicians at the polls big time. Now, that one will usher us into Tabayahan Tate Vavi. What do you know about Zwelinzima Vavi? Give me a summary of what you know about this man. Where now, as just South African, how would the name Vavi? What comes to your mind immediately?
Are you asking me question?
Yes, I'm asking you. Now I'll tell you what comes in my mind. I go like this guy's name, especially nowadays. So I got to get your opinion right now. What comes to your mind? How would you like Vavi or the name Zwelinzima Vavi? What comes to your mind?
Unfortunately, what comes in my mind whenever I think of him is the sexual harassment thing. Unfortunately, sorry, that is the first thing that always comes to my mind. The reason being, I'm an activist against sexual harassment. I've actually written a book on dealing with sexual harassment in the workplace.
Yes.
So whenever I think of Vavi, I think of him as a case study.
Case study. So whatever he says doesn't do much anymore, eh?
Yeah, so unfortunately I'm clouded by that thought. So whatever he says, I'm reminded, by the way, you are talking to somebody who was accused of sexual harassment many years ago, and nothing was really done properly to prove our point and our fight.
Yeah.
For eradicating sexual harassment in the workplace because of the way his case was dealt with. So yeah, so when I hear Vavi, that is what comes to me, and I've seen a lot of his tweets and a lot of things quoted by him. But seriously, it becomes a bit of a challenge to think past that.
All right.
And also, for me, I agree with a sentiment that is out there with many X and TikTok cars that are putting him out in open.
Yeah.
Or you know what? He's trying to revive himself
Yeah.
and become relevant.
Yeah, that's what I said to him on X.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you trying to revive yourself when I believe it?
Yeah, because his statement is very disheartening.
Yeah.
When you say these people were killed through starvation.
Yes. It's like it was deliberate.
And had no viable action.
Yeah. I'm going to play one of his clips. Actually, it's 3 of the clips. I'm going to play one, and then we're going to interrogate that immediately after. But before that, let's go to the WhatsApps. Lebogang Vavi is a morally corrupt man. And personally, the moment when sexual immorality enters the chat room, I exit that group. All right, and then Usbonang and Ari, when I hear the name Vavi, what comes to my mind is a man who hacked a foreigner who fraudulently acquired our ID documents, Vusi Sibanda. Hey, I didn't know about that one, but yeah, it's out there. Where's the other one? Okay, so let's play a little bit of what Vavi said when he was interviewed on SABC. Because I've got some of his tweets here, so I'm going to read as well. But let's just play what he said when he was interviewed on the SABC, and then we can interrogate that. Let's take a listen.
Most of the illegal mine workers, zamas, whatever you want to call them from your perspective, will now be forced to leave because they have been starved of food and water as a result of that operation. By the 21st, government, as a result of a court order, had already announced that it was launching 3 phases of a rescue operation, which was to include sending down a camera, as well as bringing down a special cage to bring them up. That was on the 21st of November. It only took up to 13th of January for the cage to come down. By that time, what we're now talking about was happening. More than 80 people have died. We think that had government moved with the necessary speed in the shaft where people were unable to on their own come out, it would have saved all of the people that have died. That's the first reason. The second reason is that we've got to know why government is allowing a situation where it is unable to manage its own migration laws. When we're talking about the influx of Zimbabweans, Mozambicans, why is that so?
Are you drawing a straight line from the issues around migration policy to illegal mining?
Absolutely. There would have been no illegal mining if government was operating a tight operation to ensure that nobody is able to come willy-nilly into the republic. That's a second reason. There's a third reason. The government has about 7 to 8 pieces of legislation, from issuing a license every time a company is wanting to close down the mine, to a Health and Safety Act of the mining industry that says you must seal the mine before you close down, to the National Environmental Act that says this is how you should go about ensuring that you sort out the environment and that you make sure that the mine is such that people can still live around it after it has been closed. That is not happening, or it is happening in such a scale that it makes no difference. At the end, there are 6,100 mines that have been abandoned in South Africa that have not been properly sealed, opening the space for anybody to just go in.
All right, that was Zwelinzima Vavi, the General Secretary now, I believe, of SAFTU, a new union that broke away from COSATU when he was fired after when he was accused of sexual harassment in the workplace where he was found actually have slept and were doing the deed with a young lady in his office in Kosatu, and he was fired on those grounds. And then him and Ivan Jim, if I'm not mistaken, they broke away from Kosatu and formed SAF2. Yeah. So that is his first opinion, what he says. Picking up Mozonamo, Dr. Rolls, like you said earlier, people were killed by starvation. The government could have moved up in speed to save all those lives, blah, 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 blah. Before I can give you a chance to respond to that, Dr. Rolls, I'm going to go to one tweet that I got. Okay, the ones I have is that Tilfontein community leaders pin blame on Chaveni over smoke them out comments, and then the other one, this one, this guy is asking Vavi, if one of your daughters were part of the girls who were, raped in Krugersdorp by the zamas, you wouldn't be tweeting in their defense now? I suspect that those zamas could be working for your wife's company, which is called Zwelinzima Mineral and Resources. And I think his response, the tweet, all rights go hand in hand with responsibilities. You can't stage a protest underground, making mocking demands to the state. When people die, then pin it on government. Government has never prevented anyone from coming out of the mine, as it has been documented. Some coming out. Then the other one, produce the sources telling you this, or I'll be left with no option but to force you to bring them to court. I'm convinced the sources the sources are you with an intention to label and soil my name. That is the tweet. According to our sources, this great politician Zwelinzima Vavi was benefiting from the illegal Tilfontein miners kingpins, who is Tembile, Botman, Koza, and Johannes. Let me just get a full tweet with that name. Yeah. According to our sources, this great politician Zwelinzima Vavi was benefiting from the illegal Tilfontein mines from kingpins Tembile, Botman, who's Koza, and Johannes Nkase, who's Koza as well. That's why he's defending illegal miners. And then this guy went out and say he's going to sue everybody. He will sue this person, and then he wants him to name the sources of where he got his information from. So back to the voice note or that little clip when Dr. Rolls. What is your take on that one?
To be honest, caution our listeners, I'm a bit disappointed in people like Zwelinzima Vavi,
yes,
who are totally unprepared to the South African legal system, apart from just South African people of its own, the legal system itself. If we decide today to go and hold a bank hostage, hold hostages in the bank, we can bank and make demands about a helicopter, about us and our team. What will happen to us?
Yes. Yes.
We will be given all these things we are demanding.
No, you won't be. Obviously, they would, for the sake of and then smoke out then they will do that. They will.
But the first thing they will do, they will negotiate, I guess. But I know, you will give food and water if you release the hostages.
Yes.
Then they'll give you something else in exchange for hostages again.
Yes.
The minute there are no more hostages in your care, or minimal hostages, they start finding a way to get in and deal with it.
Of course. I mean, that's what the law should
now, in the mining case, we had people who voluntarily went underground, started illegal mining. When they found out that police are waiting for them outside to arrest them, because now they have to come out and get food and so forth. Because the people who were supplying them food, that were selling food underground, were stopped from going underground to run a business, which was also an illegal business because it's aiding and abetting.
Yeah.
So then they were out of food underground, they had to come out. Now when they were coming out, they were arrested. So a message was sent to the guys underground to say, hey, who become on?
Yeah.
Yes. So they decided to stay. Then they got their NPOs to get a court order that said they can be assisted with food. But the court said, not the Minister of Police, the court that they went to said nobody but rescue personnel may go into assist. A police rescue personnel. A police rescue personnel.
No, they're not.
So why do these NPOs go and hire private rescue personnel? And come and rescue these miners?
Yes.
If they were serious. We need to call the truth the truth.
Exactly. And if I have a camera, that's
what gave them power.
Yeah. Like another there was supposed to be a camera that's supposed to go down, and there's supposed to be a cage going down. Who must pay for all that, Dr. Rose? I mean, who must pay for all those things? For people who actually went down there. Yeah.
It's the NPOs that went to the court to ask you for this. The police said in the court, we do not have the capacity. A camera, Vavi is very backward. A camera was sent down. The very same fiat private company that came as rescuers sent a camera down, and they said it is too risky
So he's lying
to go down this stuff. They said the things themselves. So are we saying our police officers who went to apply for a job to defend and protect must now risk their lives to go underground?
Yeah.
To go and rescue criminals.
That they didn't want to come out by themselves because they knew they were going to get caught.
Not that they were blocked. They were not blocked. They were told, come out. Ropes were set down. What were they doing instead? They were tying dead bodies on the rope so the dead bodies will be pulled out.
Yeah. But I never saw like a move at everything. Yeah.
Are we for real? Are we really looking at solving the problems, or are we looking at passing the blame on government because we want to show that they are failing so that we become relevant, right? We know our government has failed.
No, I do agree.
Nobody does not know that.
Yeah. I agree with people that are saying
that. But in this case,
yes. Yes, but we're going to
in this case, I stand with the minister.
Yeah.
I fully support the minister. Yes, lives have been lost. We pray for their souls to rest in peace.
Yes.
We pray that the Creator provides those families the peace they need and closure they need as they identify their loved ones and their loved ones are connected with them. It is sad to lose a life, especially a young life.
Yeah. But
a life that is lost knowingly having taken the challenge. It's like when our sons agreed to go to the war.
Yeah.
We were expecting two things. Coming back alive.
Yes.
Or coming back in a casket.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
So I think these families do well. Or it's either
yes.
or
Oh, 64548 do you think now okay, can I give my opinion a little bit? I'm sorry because I know I'm the host, I'm supposed to be neutral. I'm going to be neutral a little bit on this one. You know, Dr. Rolls, I don't think we should be having any sympathy for any criminal. And I always even tell people that, you know what, I don't care. If a criminal is black or maroon or white or cream, I don't really give a damn about Miran because he's a criminal. Tomorrow is going to come and rob me. You understand what I'm saying? If the community will beat you up because you're a criminal, hey, let them do that. Because tomorrow going to come and rob me. You understand what I'm saying? So now I don't think people we should even be having all this sentimental, let their souls rest in peace. I mean, you knew what you're doing. You're an adult. You knew what you're doing. You came from your house in Mozambique. You left Lesotho. You left Zimbabwe. You crossed the border illegally. You came here. The first thing you did was to think of being a criminal. And you crossed the border and you emphasized and actually confirmed your criminality by crossing the border into this country illegally. And then you make your way, and you make your way straight down to Northwest Province, Klerksdorp, Stilfontein. And you got there and you are told, listen, their mine shaft is 2.1 kilometers long, and the other one is 35 kilometers long. You're going to have to walk crawling in that little shaft there. And you still agree and say, yes, it's fine, I will go and do it. Do you still need sympathy from us?
I stand with you, Coach. It's dangerous for me on two fronts, but I stand with you.
Yeah.
Consciously so, I support your sentiments fully. And I think your opinion is based on a very, very relevant part. If I look at it in the context of a legal practitioner, if it was them sourcing my services, it will be me having to defend them, looking at what led them to be in that position. If they were South Africans, it would be easy to say poverty.
Yeah. Because
lack of jobs, yes, and so forth.
Yeah.
But how do we defend somebody who is illegal in the country, undocumented? That alone is already an undisputed guilt verdict.
Yeah.
Then the rest is about difficult.
No, I agree.
And then
completely.
Really your sentiments are strong and I fully support them. Then I wear the cap of Muruti.
Yeah.
As Muruti we pray for them. And that's why I came in to say, may her souls rest in peace.
Yeah.
Because we pray for the strength of their families and then their path.
Yeah.
It's sad to read the worry some people were eating dead people's flesh.
Is that even
that is cannibalism?
Has that been proven, Dr. Ross, or is just on those things that let's make the situation sound so worse and then was that ever proven?
Vavi was quoting what these people that came out they say.
Yes.
So the media also quotes that without verification.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't know. But if this is what it means to be underground and refusing to come out because you'll be arrested, it tells you how much more it is. Someone said something very important to me. He said, the biggest problem was not coming out. The problem was coming out with all that money.
So this money
was the biggest challenge.
So this money underground.
They get paid. Yeah, apparently they get paid underground because while they are working, there's people that are measuring and what. These are teams. They work as teams.
Yes.
And everyone has a responsibility. So there are those that mine the gold. They give it to those that go and refine it, then go and sell. And then there's communication over how many kilos. Now these people have to come back with the cash and they distribute it underground because then whoever has got their money with them, nobody is held accountable. Unless then those that have people outside who they say, no, if I'm Saduaka, if I'm Mahuman, and there are people that they facilitate it.
Yeah.
But apparently they especially these that come from Zimbabwe and then Mozambique, they collect their money while they are underground. Then they find a way of coming out with their money and going back to their homes. So they wait for it to be a large amount because it's not a once payment, million.
Yeah.
They have to build up. So remember they are a team. So you'll find maybe if the team sold 500,000, it's divided amongst the team. So if the team is 10 down there, so give 50,000 each. But that's excluding the other people that must be paid. So you'll end up finding all of these guys get something like 25,000. So for them to build enough to go home, they need to at least have a minimum of 100 to 200,000. Because when they go for long periods, like 2 months here.
For another 6 months again.
Yes, so this is the reality. So they have a way of stashing it underground, digging other places like safe, so they keep it. And when they see that they've got enough, then they leave. also they live as a group. That's why they are always fully armed, because others are waiting outside to rob them.
Because I was asking myself, then how does someone spend 6 months underground? Like, how do you do that? Some spend a year under there. I'm like, how do you do? Where do you go to the loo? Where do you sleep? How do you eat? What do you eat? How is it like there? Because there's no light and everything else. How do you survive? And how Mola, after a year in that dark hole, what is the psychological impact on you, or physical and physical impact on you? Because I mean, how in the dark for a long time, your eyes will take time to acclimatize to the light if now they come into contact. How do you can't be there? They save it until it become more.
Yeah, that's the target question. It's try to save as much, and then when you come out, it's very challenging, you know, and you are able to make a good impression when you get home. This is why you are born, you know, and they try and stay as long enough at home. So other guys try to save even as much as 200, 300,000 before they come out. That's why they will be there for about 6 months.
Yeah.
So when they come out, they've got at least 300,000. And yes, there's a reality of those that end up making $1 million. If they stay for a year, they can end up having $1 million. So when that guy leaves, they leave with their $1 million. Others have one mission. I go make my $1 million, so I'm away for a year. I make my $1 million, I come out and start a business, and they don't go back. You know, then there's others who come out and they live the fancy lavish life. Then they have to go back after a month or two because they need to go make money.
Yeah.
So it's that. It's a community. It's a society. It's a way of life in there. It's like how prisoners survive. You know, they find a way of survival. You know, they form themselves. They become units. That's why you see them fighting. They've got commandos outside that protect them. There's commandos that protect their interests on the outside, protection. So when they are going to come out with their money, they have their commandos who are fully armed. That must get paid when they escort them safely to their destination. Yeah. So it's a very well-oiled organization that is run there. And that's why I say they have lost control, Hoshi. People don't understand how well-organized these people are. You know, as they come out, there are commandos who are fully armed with AK-47 and big machine cars that escort them, load them in the cars, take them to wherever these guys are going to move to, where they need to go to. And they pay good money to these guys. Yeah. So it's a network of businesses. There are those that are underground mining, there are those that are refining, there are those that are protection, that play security, there are those that play logistics, there are those that are what they call them, the trackers. So we will go and check which is the safest route to go back to Zimbabwe without being traced and collected by police. There are those that prepare all those things for them. And that's how they leave this country and these shores with these big amounts of money without being arrested, because they've got people that are connecting them to certain people at the border gate, at the police, there are police that are telling them there's a roadblock, they won't be disturbed. There's all that systems put in place for them. And these guys that are mining, when they come out, hell to read this 1 million. You must know who at least 50 to 100,000 will be paying your safe passage.
Of course. Yeah.
So these are the realities, Coach. Yeah. And that's why this system is crumbling and it's sustained, because a lot of people are benefiting from it. A lot. There are those criminal forces within the government, Home Affairs being one of them, that provide these people with documentation.
Yeah.
To be able to get safe passage out of the country. Remember, these people are in the country illegally for over a year. Yes. So there's people that organize deportation papers so that it looks like they are being properly documented out.
Yeah. This is a very big...
There are those that want to get for them temporary traveling permits from their embassies.
Yeah.
Without them being there, but they get temporary traveling documents.
Yeah. So this
when you listen to the stories, it's crazy, Coach.
Dr. Rolls, you know what? Give me your last words, give me your last bite about this whole thing. What is, now it sounds like we are so hopeless. Eh? We are so hopeless. What can we do? I mean, the ring is too big. Big fish are involved in this thing because somebody said it go Twitter. The tilfontein. Actually, an article airing the community of tilfontein. People are arresting zamas. They are arresting little fish. There's sharks out there that are supposed to be God. So, give me your last take on this one.
Hoshi, to part with my fellow South Africans and your listeners, us patriots continue to say we need to be patriotic to our country. We need to love our country so much that we are willing to do anything to protect it for the future of our children. Now, the big thing is, how willing are we to take this fight to where it needs to go?
Yeah.
The solutions are there.
Yeah.
We need to start by getting rid of corrupt politicians, corrupt police officers, corrupt officials, and put systems in place that will ensure that we protect and safeguard our shores.
Yeah.
We have become a laughing stock of the country where any criminal comes here and tells you South Africa is easy. Hosha was in Nigeria in June.
Yes.
It's not easy to try anything in Nigeria.
Yeah. That's what I was
Even
saying.
a security officer will make you feel so small in that country that you ask yourself seriously, do I even listen to this guy with such a demeanor? And he's only a security officer. And it makes you feel because they realize you're a foreigner.
Yeah.
And they will make you feel.
Yeah.
And now we are making it easy. It's time to take ownership of our country, South Africans. It's time to be patriotic to our country.
Yeah.
Those Zwelinzima Vavi and the politicians are not patriotic. They are patriotic to their stomach and their wallets.
Yeah.
We need to be patriotic to our country for the future of our children.
Yes.
It's time to get rid of these people and replace them with people that are patriotic and genuinely so.
Yeah.
And are willing to take this country back to its glory days without any fear or favor.
Yes.
South Africa cannot be ungovernable because of criminality, illegal activities, and illegal people coming to take over and dominate. These syndicates, these mafias must fall.
Yes.
And it's only us that love this country and will do it. Thank you, Bush.
Dr. Rolls,
And
thank
thank
you so very much, brother, for being with us today, man. As always, I know I was panicking today. I hope I can take one off phone and then the calls is just rejected. Hey, for sure, busy, but I just hope he'll get back to me. Available. Let me just try my luck. But thank you so much again for availing yourself, and always availing yourself whenever we have a topic that I will need you to be here. So thank you so much, Khosiaka and Mudimkyo.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for considering me.
No.
I need to prepare for court for tomorrow.
Yes.
The guys of my mafia are going to try. So I must be ready as the name get them back. So
of course. No,
I'm praying for a victory there as well.
Yeah. No, thank you, Khosiaka. Have a lovely night further and then greet the family. Thank you, pa. All right.
Keep well, my brother. Keep well to the listeners. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you,
Keep well.
Thank you. Yeah, that was Dr. Rolls, Gordon Rolls from I Am a Patriot, coming to you live on www.khosifm.co.za, coming to you live again on www.holdings.co.za/khosifm/. Let me see, do I have some WhatsApps that I need to read? Is there any WhatsApp that okay? Kika Majola are criminality is wrong. South Africans must not glorify it. Finish and glad. Are Dr. Rolls is true. We owe it to our kids, and that and those that come after us. It is in our hands. Let me go and see. Let me go and check if there's any other ones. All right, because Kiboni Elayach ya ga Uzbonang ha mpotsa gore Vavi a re bone kae ka none ga bonang ashidi we've got receipts. I get the same feeling when I hear ANC, except I also get it when I hear tender to loot. I think she was answering somebody here. And then I want to say a picture of Zwelinzima Vavi Hakile, this man who we got receipts. The Temuto lady told us on national TV that Vusi Sibanda got amnesty after fraudulent acquired our ID. I mean, how does somebody get how does somebody get amnesty after snagra ID? How do we do that? South Africa is a lekker plek. Ne, do you do what you want and anytime and anyhow? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give my opinion now about what is really this whole thing. I always tell people, because I got a question today from one of my colleagues. Why are we fighting? Let me just read that question on air. Why are we fighting? Did this thing of different nationalities fight start after apartheid, or it's always been there? Or these people were not taking your jobs back then? Why are you even counting how many Mozambican peoples are in there? Okay, let me just try to answer this thing by this, and I'm going to give my honest opinion about this whole thing. We do not hate any of our black brothers from Africa, from any country, from Botswana upwards. We don't. We do not hate anybody. We just want law and order. I want law and order in my country, much as they've got law and order in their countries. Many people are not told the truth. But you can never break a law as South African in Mozambique or Lesotho or anywhere else. I remember I was in Fixburg one time, way back, some few years ago, and the River, that's the river that separates us from Lesotho. They jumped there from Lesotho to come here. Someone said, you can never cross from here to there, by the way. There's soldiers patrolling this side, but they will let their people cross over to this country. But they will never let you cross from this country to their country, because Lo is free to all. So, like I asked the question earlier, are we actually our worst enemies as people? Yes, we are, and I agree that we are our worst people, our worst enemies, pila. The very person that our rights as black people, straight away, have overshadowed our responsibilities as people, as human beings. In a sense, anybody can just jump a border, come here and do whatever he wants, and then when he's arrested or confronted, the very same neighbor is a xenophobic person. The very same neighbor goes out and forms an NGO that will fight for the person who came in your house. The very law of South Africa became so useless in a sense that a police can shoot a criminal if the criminal has turned their back on them. Even a citizen can shoot a criminal in my house at 2 in the morning. I can't shoot them because they might be running. I should warn them first and tell them to raise their hands. The man might be having a gun. But I can't even shoot the damn thing in my house only because the law says he's protected. Hey, he's criminal. In America, you come into my yard, you are trespassing. I can shoot you. I've got a right to shoot you because you came into my yard. In South Africa, I should actually be giving you what you want in my own house. That's how the law of this country is so porous. The law of this country is so porous. Their borders are porous. Our politicians have got businesses in other countries. Hence, they will speak for those countries and those people, because they've got interest in those countries. That is the reality. We mustn't even try to shy away and say, no, this person does not have this. They do have businesses in Zambia, in Mozambique. We know Mbeki. It's not even alleged. Mbeki has got mines. Zanele is controlling those mines. In Zambia, we know that. It's there in Wikipedia. Just go in Wikipedia and check and you'll find that information there. It's not an allegation. It's the truth. So do you really think, Hori, a leader of that caliber, having that kind of interest, will actually say, no, but guys, you can't do this here? No. He will be seen to be doing something by saying, but you can't do this here, it's not right. But knowing fully well he's not even meaning what he's saying. How in God's name, how do you just leave your country? Was a big, for example. You travel all the way to Tilfontein for one purpose. I'm going to be a zama. I'm going to go there with AK-47. I'm going to risk my life to crawl for 35 kilometers underground just to get the gold so that I can be able to sell it and get it. I say poverty into it. It's criminality. But all this will be put on our doorsteps as South Africans. Taking a very simple stance as what's happening in Denville now, when we are trying to clean up Denville and get rid of drugs and get rid of everything else. Our police in Pretoria West are not doing anything about it. They will rather tip and say the raid is coming tomorrow, and when we get there is nothing. People are arrested here with illegal foreigners. They will be out in a day or two. Who do we blame then in that way? Who do we blame? Do we now say the system? The system does not work by itself. The system has got people making the system to work. So we are our worst enemies. And you can, Boma Lema, I'm going to quote politician names. This is a public thing. Boma Lema, they will defend because they know why they're defending. They will defend because they know what South Africa is not for them forever. One day, Zimbabwe. So he needs to fix that so that whenever he maybe run away from that country, at least they will welcome him. Or at least it's fine. Come and sit here. A person like Zwelinzima Vavi must be disgraced. Must not call himself a father. They asked him a question. Vavi, if your daughter was one of the girls who were raped to go Krugersdorp by the very zamas you are fighting for, you wouldn't be saying such a thing. But it's because maybe, allegedly, maybe, you are benefiting. Your company, how mineral resources, whatever, is benefiting from that. You understand what I'm saying? So, like Pravin Gordon once said to us, let's connect the dots and see exactly who are we fighting here. South African people are at a ransom. South African people are really we really need help, and no help from government will come on to us. Our president never said nothing about this whole thing. Maybe somebody can maybe correct me. Please send me a voice note or voice clip. I condemn, as a president of a country, the criminality of Tilfontein. I've never heard him saying that. And these are the people we keep on voting for. Hence, the thing of us being our worst enemies in this country. It is up to us. It's not up to anybody. What the apartheid did something very nice. Apartheid managed to make us very dormant. Very dormant. Retshaba molao, retshaba court, retshaba bodisa, retshaba go tshwarwa, retshaba go bolela. God is more of, hey, wanna mo wadidimala, you comply or else you go to jail and you're okay. Ngase court on nangas tshwaru yo thomdimi imagine. That's what fear. What that system did to a black person. It made him compliant so much that even if a thief can enter your house tonight, somebody can just walk in the studio now. I can't shoot the man. I can't shoot him because if I shoot him, I'll be charged with culpable homicide of a criminal in my place of work or in my house at 2 a.m. I have to argue in court for self-defense. But even though the police would see what does he want in my house at night? What does he want in my house at night? Electric fence, still the men managed to get into my house and then but then if you react as a citizen who's paying tax, a law-abiding citizen, you go to jail because of that. You killed a human being. He's like, why have you brought out the dignity? Who got the dignity of these people? What dignity are you talking about on a criminal? What dignity are you talking about, Mr. Vavi? How work a criminal does not have any dignity. That person had a jumper fence. Into your house. That person has lost all rights and all. Once again, when or zama. The same as they've done for decision about any more mining all over House America. How on any structure to hold, even if there's a rock fall, it will just fall and then they're gone. So they go there, they can either come out alive or come out dead. So nake mang se hongwana because it's woman onal dignity we must respect the dignity of a criminal. What needs to be done, gentlemen and ladies? What needs to be done? What do we need to do as human beings of this country, as black people of this country, as citizens? What do we need to do to safeguard ourselves, to safeguard our kids, to safeguard our properties? We can't live like we're in jails. The fortress. People who come from England, they actually so high walls, electric fence. Even a wall almost 6 meters or bukai, and then go the electric fence. The butler. It's like we're in jail. How much we kids a gate? Because of people, I go to jail and I come out and I'm a gangster. I'm 26, I'm 28. I'm more powerful than before. Blah blah blah. And only because the law of this country protects the criminal more than the citizen of its country, who actually votes for these people to come in. And now we have politicians who are more corrupt than anybody else, who doesn't care about anybody else but their own pockets. Somebody who's in office for the sake of I must have millions so that I can go to Spain, I can go to Europe, I can go to wherever and leave the mess I created behind me. Now the question is, what needs to be done? What needs to be done? That is the question that we need to ask ourselves. Are we going to let criminals win? Are we going to let foreign illegal immigrants who are criminals to win and control our country? Listen to what Dr. Roll says. People are arrested now. After a few minutes, they come running. The shop owner asks them, hey, what happened? No. I'm a police, I give 500 rand each. Now, stonas are high se pala le na ba parankwe. Rona ba lala, rtavana relaying. Kistwan. If it cannot be nkaringa so khotho modimo ntuse ka pela mo o se bonang 064548 776 always le mama jola. If e pala lona baba in charge e pala lena ba ke ndi khosi rona ba sna sepe ba di ba modimo ra bona relaying. Where can we run to? That is the question. Do we need to live like the Pretoria East people, repel under those prisons, but within their gifted communities where they lock themselves in? Bomit stream is like its own little world. You can't get out of that place. Or to a fellow somewhere, Markam Harona les petle, Hona lady shop, Hona everything. It's like the little world in Yana. Do we need to do that now to safeguard ourselves from people who are not even South Africans? If you go to Mozambique, and you must make sure that your car has got all these yellow triangles that cross border in Alwada. Eh, otla patela bribe from o jampa libombo. Libombo kia Mozambique or kia Swaziland. One of the two. Otla patela bribe from there until Tanakoyangote. Only because they are trying to safeguard and enforce whatever their country laws are. And top speaking, those laws, we can implement them here and we are called xenophobic. Look what happened now that viral video airness migrant. Sorry. Where some of my colleagues went out there today and protest, progressive forces, they went out there to protest today. To protest, to protect the nest. I'm telling you, Sank is going to sack that woman. Sank, there'll be other people who are going to be saying, yeah, already the article I read, it was xenophobic. And that tweet was actually sent by Crime Watch Zimbabwe. Whereas in their country, none of us are doing that in their clinics. None of us are demanding help when they don't even have a paper to show for. None of us are there owning saloons. None of us are there owning any small business. Because their country made a law, no small business will actually be owned by anybody except the citizen of Zimbabwe or Botswana or Lesotho or anywhere else. I always give this example, Lesotho and Babula, some few years back. Babula affected and I don't know how far is it now. As a Juve cover Juve. And then the Minister of Small Business wa go teng ababua something. Are let's say factory ke Basotho. Factory ke Basotho. So whoever foreigner will come into Lesotho will come here to train these people. And after training them, he will leave this country and leave that factory from management to the workers to Basotho. I said, if I would say this in South Africa, I'll be labeled as xenophobic, and I'll be labeled by the very same black South Africans who are here, Boma Lame and the rest of them. They'll be labeling me as xenophobic. Hey, I don't want our brothers this and that. I'm like, If they can tell me that in their country, I have the right to tell them the same thing in my own country. There is no way that is going to be double standards. Hey, Ronari, where's the game? It's like we are paying for an but listen. Motampo, they have us can go, hey, now I'm going to go put a zonagua. I say, I go Zimbabwe, go to Tabang exile. So don't count me there. Even your father yourself, when Amalema, was never in Zambia as king as exile. And it's not like they were there owning saloons and going to your mines as zamas. They were there in a camp, being patrolled simply. This is your place to stay there. You're not going to go anywhere else. Something needs to be done. We cannot just sit back and say we surrender our country. One day, there will not be anybody. This country will be protected by this. Bible, one day the foreigners will overtake you. How is that the foreigners will overtake the very land I gave you. And that's going to happen. I cannot tell any foreigner who's legal. Or is there anybody who's legal in this country? I don't have a problem with them. Shame. If you are legal, you are legal. Beautiful. Let's work together to build a country that is going to work for all of us. But here osna any legal document. I can ask you a very simple question. If I do the same thing in your country, how will your country accept me or treat me? Will they themselves be understanding like me? Will there be NGOs in Zimbabwe or Mozambique that are fighting so tooth and nail at the moment for saying my dignity was being destroyed because I went in and did an illegal act, but when I have to be accountable for that, no, my dignity and my rights trumps all that criminality? That would be the question. Arbon, okay. If there's any other WhatsApps I can go to, let's see. Okay. I want to open to talk to me now. First, I know Gaf Pasi. 064548776. This is our country. As I clean this, I call Mike, and nobody's going to come and do it for us. And topics like this needs a lot. I was expecting a lot of messages and phone calls and whatnot because of people who are really, really tired of this. It still goes back to being our worst enemy. Because what happens, it's not like a community. For example, what 60 community? If I could enter something like, listen guys, we need to have a private security patrolling us and everything. Do you know there's going to be only few people that are going to do that? Maybe let's say 50 houses, for example, or just a number, 100 houses. And I say, listen guys, can you contribute all in one of us, like what, $100 a house per month? And we have 100,000 plus minus, right? That will pay the security company that will patrol our streets to keep us safe, all of us. One of us, they'll not ADT in my house. So I don't need this one. Because I'm already paying for ADT, so what am I supposed to do? I'm safe in my own cocoon. And I can't show you now. The crime in this country so much, but let's fix this thing. We could not do that. We cannot all come into consensus. Okay, guys, let's do this for ourselves. South Africans, we are worst enemies, especially black people. I'm going to talk to my brothers, black ones. We are so fragmented, it's not even funny. MK, entire emotion, that's going to cover everybody. EFF, because munga bona le phoso le zuma a re itse bana mola bana go ba etsa machimo. What examples were they giving us? Habira machimo bare we don't want MK. I mean, MK could have just come and joined and become one black force that will say this we don't want. No, we don't want MK. They can do their own march there. And people will be clapping hands. If only it was only us. Bon, there's the difference. If in Rena fela, like Botswana, you toban to fail on parliament, the whole day amongst Botswana fela. Kibon. Mozambique is the same thing. It's only black people in parliament. There's no other race. It was okay. Then we can do that. But this time we're still having the very oppressors amongst us who want nothing but to see the disunity of a black person. The very same divide and conquer they did apartheid, they are doing it now, and we think it's democracy. It's not. It's not. Now I blame us. I don't blame government. I blame Marina. The very enablers in Tilfontein, the very so-called community leaders who are blaming Chaveni for smoking them out. Yes, they should be smoking. They are criminals. They're not human beings. They lost their humanity in the moment that they went in there with AK-47s to shoot anybody for stopping them from doing a criminal act. No rights are supposed to be given to a person who doesn't respect the rights of other people. It's time we stand up and say, this is enough. This is enough. It's enough. We cannot let this continue like this. Hey, remote democracy, hey, rights of this, rights of that. What about the right? Yeah, criminal is much more than the right of the victim. What about the victim? What about the person that this person took their rights out of? What about that? But if you know you are benefiting from something, of a criminal act, you will always defend that because you are benefiting from it. So, hey. So that's what Vavi is doing. And there was another interview again in SABC. That was done by this guy. He's from some NGO. Hey. I don't have time to play that thing. It's a very long one. I almost broke my phone watching that thing. I was cringing until it was like 28 minutes. I was cringing only because I feel pain. I can go Stilfontein. My family stays in Klerksdorp. They are far from Stilfontein. But I just imagine kids who are staying in that area. Young kids, women, young girls who are victims. Daily victims of sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape. We know that. You know? Of criminals who are doing everything they want the way they like because Abana Opatla wasn't anything. Anyway, who will tell them anything? Nobody will tell them anything. I mean, they've got rights. I mean, how can a criminal have a right in another country? Like, seriously speaking, like some people today even hear themselves, how boring. But until we make sense, how does this person have a right in a foreign country with no documentation? Well, all right, it's Jehovah. Over the state have a right to protect each and every life in its borders. No, not a criminal one. Do you think Mozambique, they think the same way about us? No, they don't. Do you really think Zimbabwe, when I enter there without a paper, they will say, oh, Kosovo got the right to be here. Miseng hoteling, but Miseng hoteling I enjoy. Man, he's had the right to be here. No, I'll be in jail. And I'll even be treated worse because I'm actually a foreigner in their country. Ghana, it deported Nigerians in droves. No one calls them xenophobic. Ghana. Eban tagap every day. Back to Nigeria. No one calls them xenophobic. Renama kaya the deportation. America kieli. Tomile America now. Yare batsama. They're gonna now be doing street patrols. More regards Tomika Sunnyside. Regards Tomika Johannesburg go Yeoville. Regards Tommy. Because somebody's been called in ANC Lutuli House in Parliament or Emren. But Tomile. About no. Kifonele Station Command Emren. Ego get the payment. More Most Africa. America's gonna Trump, the new coming incoming president. But are street patrols. Street patrols. But patrols throughout America. Back each and everybody else who's not doesn't even ID wants you back home where you come from. They're not being called xenophobic. Nope. South Africa and one. 60 million people, 9 provinces. We are being called xenophobic left, right, and center. Only because we want to uphold the laws of our country. There are not many foreigners. Then let me just be one of those people. I've got black friends. I'm not racist. I've got black friends. Then I've got many foreign people that I know. Some of them are patients here, and I know they've got papers. Mutisibanda comes here. What for the show yakapshu? He's got papers. His family's got papers. I don't have a problem with that. No, he's here doing a very good, honest job. His kids are going to school. His kids come here for consultation. People like Love More. He's going to be here tomorrow. They've got papers. And they're from Zimbabwe. I don't care. Because they are legal. They are legal. So we can't be gagged, all of us, to say, oh, just because. No. Now he knows where I stand. I tell him, listen, not any illegal person can be because you can't be legal calling. And I had an interview with him here, Sibanda, last time. I spoke to him. Why is there no noise? Whenever there's an incident of xenophobic, xenophobia, we have such a noise and uproar. Yo. But when there's something wrong, like for example, you're not a tilfontein, bagay. Bagay. Inja one, inja all, right? Inja one, inja all. Bagay. And because of that, someone who is benefiting from the mining wants Nchaveni out of office with a claim of tender corruption while working in one municipality, Mokgalakwena, a long time ago now, and DA is on its high voice. Exactly. That's why other people get born. For all the other things. It's just useless. Let's do this our own. Let's go private. Safeguard our areas privately. Raid privately. When you do this privately. Because if it's through the law will do its own thing. There's somebody there. Tip, outside. Tomorrow there's a raid go Denville. So be ready. Yeah. And then it comes to a point where China relole, but how that is nothing. And then this little loopholes. Hey, you didn't come with a search and search warrant, whereas the police were involved. Imagine the Mapusia was a raid, as a search warrant, search and seizure warrant. But now that thing they knew it will never hold in court. Hence they did that. This thing has never be fella cool. So let's just be seen to be doing something. Let's go there and raid, and then we did a job. But then when it comes to court, oh my goodness, we forgot. We need a search. Are you serious? You are a cop. You should know that. That's basic 1-on-1. You don't arrest me or stop me without probable cause. Hello. Anyway, who's me? That was our show for today. Adutleng, 2 minutes. I'll give you grace. 064-548-776. Give me your rent, man. Send a voice note. Rohana, Tapata, all way. It's too much. It's too much, It is way too much. You think you are safe in that high wall of yours. You are not. They always find a way to come in there. Unity, South Africa. Unity. Our unity is much more important than my little safety in my own house. The first and foremost not supposed to be pushed by anybody. How would they let only because all of them, they are so ambitious to actually come down and say, listen, I can surrender my EFF. I'll surrender my ATM. I'll surrender my UDM, this nonsense, GNU. All the other parties, Let's just, dissolve and form one thing. Let it be a doomsday need for them. But they won't do that because all of us we want skundla. You can't be led, but you want to be a leader. How do you do that? Unless somebody can come here and say, Josue, we've got how many surgeries here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How about we just form a conglomerate of 5 clinics, and we form them, and then we become directors of that thing, and then it becomes one entity that no one should go there. Hey, I'll jump on the position because at least I know I can see the vision king. But if I'm selfish, I'll say, they did a EU. Like Europeans, they did EU. They met all the countries of Europe. They are now one continent with one passport and one flag. There's individual flags for each country, but they don't even have one. They've got one currency. Africa, you can't do that because you know what? The moment you do that, one country will be destroyed, Karen. Because everyone will now be flooding here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kari. Thank you so much for lending me your ears this evening. And thank you to Dr. Rawls. I'll go on and on, but especially for people who are supposed to be responsible like Vavi. How about we feel about methodology? Yeah. No, we really are in trouble, Bahaj. We're in trouble. And this thing we must punish them at the polls. Yeah, that one we can do so, but in the meantime, rerun. Do we now wait for 2026 to take them out? Do we now wait for 2029 to take them out? What do we do in the meantime? We can't. We can't be begazelling forever. We can't do that. Criminals are in heaven in South Africa, shame, and they know. But kick free for all. You'll think, check out those protests in Mozambique, or how vicious and cruel they were from the police. Or how are the police handling their own people? How about Samijikada? You can't. Sorry. You can't. You can't do that. You can't do that. Too many rights and less responsibilities. You have a right to do anything you want, but don't have my carabelan to you. You know? I want to make carabelan to you. Whatever you want to do, but don't have a responsibility for that thing. Go kill somebody, and then tomorrow an NGO will come and say, no, but he has a right for dignity. What about the dignity? What about that one? Yeah. Anyhow, we're done for the day. Thank you so much. It's been a long time since I put up my mind out there. Thank you so very much, Bakhacho, for being with me today, man. It's beautiful. And by the way, don't forget the number. But talk about 25,000. I'm not about 50 like I about 25,000 but 50 like I under there. But more bordering if him fit about what like one. Yeah. Just to show how much of the love we have for ourselves and for our country. How much love we have. And to all EFF members, I want to say this to them. Just stop being sheep too. Ayman. Stop following the leader. Make up your minds. Be human beings. Be patriotic. This country is not Malema's country. I'm saying this because this thing illegal, hey, there's nothing like that. And now his people are following him. They can't even support any program, Buanka, removing illegal people out because the leader says no. Be patriotic on your own. Stop what tomorrow benefiting next. And this goes to everybody else who thinks they are too clever to say this is not supposed to be done in the name of an NGO or name of whatever as the black person. It can be. Remember, our colonization is of a special kind, Their countries were independent from 1960. We were still under apartheid in 1960. Kids were killed. Sharpeville happened 65. 61 1960. When many of African countries got their independence, not transition, not Codesa, not independence, whoever was colonizing was leaving. Portuguese left Mozambique. English left Zimbabwe. England left Botswana. And all of them. France left. Germany left Namibia, and they left, they left. We are never given that chance. 1910, instead of white people leaving these shores and going back where they came from, the British left and left the other white ones to rule us. Apartheid 1948 until today, 94. Jehovah, thank God. 94. And still, we don't own nothing in this whole economy, in this whole land. Only nix. Harra hema. Reto under boot ya slavery le colonialism or whatever. Harra hema rijigarra. But you batala gajar. This is tona sari. Saro ko chwe oroto ranya ko tuna dinta. Wata ko tuna dinta ko tsamo e gai. How you don't pampiri most Africa tsamo e gai. How na lione drisese ntle ka molao. Anaptat. It's not hate, it's not xenophobia, it's nothing. And this thing of phobia, phobia is fear of something. How do I fear somebody from a foreign person? No, I don't. I don't fear you, I'm telling the truth. Anyhow, yeah, kinako. Tomorrow, Rakopana Hape, Kausane, Rakopana Hape, Kinaba Ruti Kausane, they'll be here. Rebuakata di mockery, ancestral worship. Is it allowed? Should we do it or not? So please join me again tomorrow. Traditionally, if you are a traditional healer and you want to take a call from me, or at your own perspective, please do that. Mpote now 064-548-776. On Romele was on Koswe. Born Nakilinga Mama Mamanka Kanki. I can haribika or what you guys do, go dumping, whatever. Rebua kahore badimu abating na, and should we really be worshipping or practicing that hopa shakabadimu bao or what? So tomorrow, same time, same place, 7:30 to 9:30, I'll be having a panel of pastors here discussing that. So please join me tomorrow again. Kilarata hure, let's see betabe. Kilarata kan nete. I love you all. Thank you so very much for joining me today. This will be on a podcast called Spotify. Spotify channel like the on a live show. You go to Spotify, you search for us there, you'll find us there, and it will be on our YouTube tab. Yeah, live. It's there. And Kosi TV, go Facebook, where battle Kosi TV, you'll find this podcast posted today as a video. Then you can watch it again and again and comment and tell me what you think about today's show. I love you so much. Thanks so much. Mama Jola. Thank you, Moisuaka. Anybody else? Osbonang. Everybody else. Progressive Forces. Guys, I miss you, man. Well, come and see me soon. Bye-bye.